It was perfect, absolutely perfect. That's what I'm gonna just say about Spider-Man Brand New Day, the best Tom Holland movie. That is my opinion, and I loved it a lot. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about the spoilers and everything, and what parts I loved absolutely about Spider-Man. So obviously, it starts off with showing Spider-Man how lonely he is, and he's hiding not hiding, like running away from his Peter Parker identity and just being Spider Man. And that's what this whole movie goes around, the ideology of who is he, Peter Parker or Spider Man? And that's what we see till the right in the climax, and also with another character, which I can say because it's a spoiler review, Jean Grey, our Sadie Singh, and that reveal was so amazing as well. Like the tension the movie built throughout the for before it reveals Sadie Singh's character was so amazing. That first action sequence where he jumps in, swings in, comes in, and he's on the tank fighting and everything, and then we see Punisher and Spider Man's dynamic throughout the whole movie was so good. You could see that banter. Uh, I saw someone was saying this was better than Tony Stark. Tony Stark and Spidey's relationship was more like a father and son. Obviously, they had banters as well, but it was very much you could see Punisher and Spider Man feels like an older brother and a younger brother dynamic, and you will get it when you watch. Obviously, you would have watched it because there's a spoiler, but it felt so good and so organic. Like till right the end, it felt such a good one. And even with Punisher's character, you can see a growth in the way they showed him, and maybe sometimes just going for the kill is not the right thing. Like I think what we always say, like Spider-Man never kills his enemies and never does decisions erratically, and that did show doing decisions erratically how Punisher does. He goes straight for the kill and shoots and stuff. You could see how bad it can be when you see at the end what happens to Spider-Man when he gets shot. So it does show that it could be very damaging. And I think this movie in general shows a lot of messages, how to not run away from your problems, how to accept it, and how you will have that anger inside of you, and you should not, like with Spider-Man, like when he's so frustrated and his genes mutate and he becomes so much bad. Like that was a badass scene as well with the Scorpio when he literally dashes him down. That sequence was so massive, and then that to stop that he puts the inhibitor so he can control his emotions and does not become into that. He thinks that's a monster, and but by the end of the climax he realizes no, I can control it, I can do it, and that's why he removes it. And then you see the epic climax fight with the hand ninjas. It was so amazing. The ending for some people could feel very unconventional, because basically it's more like there's not a massive big ass fight like No Way Home was. Even Far From Home, we see a massive fight going on. It was more like he has the fights with the ninjas, and then it's just he talks out with Sadie Singh's character Jean Grey, because what happened to her was so bad. As we see that the what is it the defense control guy was actually a very bad person. He was actually trying to catch these mutants, and that's what he does in the comic books as well. I forgot his name, but that character that they showed, that is his role in the comics as well. That's what he does. He catches the mutants and tries to just torture him in a way. And you can see Sarah, was it Sarah? Yeah, Sarah Jean, who was Jean Grey's sister. She died because of him, and that's why she just broke out. And I think that sequence as well, the climax where she just full on broke out, and everyone just stops, and it just shows how powerful Jean Grey is, and she is amazing powerful, and she's quite fragile as well, and that's what we've seen in the previous X-Men movies, and also in the comics as well. She can be quite fragile, and quite like how I love how they are going on with, they're gonna show like the young X-Men, and then we're gonna grow with them as well. And I think Sadie Sink as Jean Grey was an amazing casting opportunity. She smashed it in that role. And as I said at the end, when Peter Parker and them are talking, is so good. Even Peter Parker and May's, there's a scene they've done, which I think everybody had a complaint from the end of Homecoming, was it? Yeah, that when his secret is revealed and when Far From Home stuff, they don't tell what the consequences was and what happened. How did May Parker react? And finally, in this movie, they actually show that conversation, and it felt so much heartened. This whole movie, in my one word, I would say, is emotional, and it grips more than going for the larger than life spectacle action. They went for more of that hitting hard, and that's what everybody wanted to hear. And you know what I love about this Tom Holland Spider-Man is the journey we've seen him going through. It feels like we have seen him grown in front of our eyes, and for me it felt way more relatable because I think I was around the same age when Spider-Man 2016 came. No, I wasn't. I was a bit younger. I was like 11 or 12, I think, when the first Tom Holland Spider-Man came out. Yeah, I was 11. And obviously that character at that time was 17, 16. And then as times went, obviously I think his character is now 21, 22, and I'm 21. So it did feel like seeing him grow was so amazing. Like from when I was young to now, and that character looks so different to how he was. This has actually become Spider-Man because we've also always seen Spider-Man being guided, being mentored. Either it's by Tony, either in the last movie it was by the other two Spider-Mans and maybe Doctor Strange, or even her aunt, or in the Far From Home it was Nick Fury, or the guy who literally betrays him, Mysterio. You can see he was reliant on so many. In this one, it's not the case. Punisher is there. He does come in, but it feels like Spider-Man is fighting his own battles. Yeah. And he is the one who practically convinced and is showing that I'm here for Jean Grey. And that friendship, where I would love to see that friendship continue, and we'll see in other movies, in previous movies, in other movies as well. Also, tomorrow I'm gonna upload another video. I'm gonna record it where I'm gonna talk about what I think is next for these characters, and it was just so amazing. And yeah, and the biggest, I think, another I haven't talked. I just jumped to the climax, but another scene which felt so much. It was amazing, but so like annoying at the same time was the MJ scene when they're on the rooftop, and you're like, oh my god, and she's like, I remember and everything, and you're like, every in my theater everyone was clapping, and it was mad what happened. And I think it felt like, oh, what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen now? And then it comes out that it was Jean Grey was actually in her head. Obviously, she can jump into different people if you've seen the movie. So she was controlling MJ, and that was not MJ. And yeah, and even later on when she finds out the letter, she's still like, the person you loved, maybe she loved you, but I don't. And that just hits so hard, and you're like, oh my god, Spider-Man. And one thing it tells us is, if Spider-Man cannot get anyone, who the hell are we to cry over if we don't get our wants? You get what I mean? Bro, Spider-Man, it's bloody Spider-Man. You can't get it. Who are we? So, yeah, but I was just, jokes apart, that sequence was like, hit so hard, and everybody in my theater was like clapping and everything, and then they gasped so loud, and even me, I was like, oh my god, what I think this movie literally, I think it was like Peter Parker's Tom Holland would literally went through trauma. He was like put into trauma, and yeah, and it was nice to see the consequences of No Way Home and how that affected his life in this whole movie. And I have not talked about them another thing, which was Hulk v Spider-Man fight. That fight was so epic as well. Though the action in this movie was amazing, and I loved how I think all the characters they showed in this movie are broken in a way. You could see with Bruce Banner and like his dynamic with the Hulk and how he is facing his problems. Jean Grey is the same thing. Her problems, she can't control maybe her powers, her sister dying away, and all of that. And her only aim was to find where her sister was. And when she realizes she's dead, she broke out. She was done. And that's the same thing with Spider-Man as well. That he wants to forget MJ, wants to go move, but he can't do it. And the what he was doing was not going right, and he couldn't forget them. And same thing with Punisher, with his family and everything. So every character in this movie felt so similar. They're different, but yet so same. And that's what I loved about this. And as I said, the Hulk whole fight. And I want to see what they do next with the Hulk, because obviously, and another thing I loved about it was that Hulk practically recognized it was. I think it was. It was. I'm not sure if that was Bruce Banner speaking or if that was Hulk speaking when he said Peter. But another thing is, I don't know if Hulk ever interacted with Spider-Man in that way. I don't remember. Maybe he did off screen and we never saw it. Like we saw, because Punisher and Spider-Man knew each other before that whole tank fight. So it could be something like that. They maybe knew each other off screen or something like that. Something happened. Who knows? But yeah, overall, I just wanted to talk about in detail what stuff I liked and just ramble. I think I'm rambling a lot right now, but tomorrow I'm gonna make another video talking more about what I think is next for these characters. But yeah, do let me know if you like this video and how did you guys find Spider-Man Brand New Day? And let me know down below your fan theories. What do you think will happen next? And yeah, until then, peace.